well, at least 2 months when we were all in a different world.
Yeah, we were in Switzerland.
Switzerland, that's right.
Yeah,
And we
at the
were
museum where we did the
at
show.
at your
Yeah.
grandfather's house where you grew up.
Yes, exactly.
And that actually brings me to my very first question. So,
Okay.
as I mentioned, this program is called In the Moment because I feel that a lot of things for us artists happen in the moment, and one can usually recall one or two important moments in their life that were maybe pivotal moments or breaking moments that you could
Hmm.
always go back to in your mind that changed your life or adjusted the path of your life. What would it be for you?
Um, for me, I guess like big moments have been when I moved cities. I remember at 16 when I first moved to Paris and I
Mm,
stopped going to school. That was a big moment. Then I moved to LA. That was also a big moment because it was like big decisions and, moving far away from family and stuff is always a big change. And then there's some changes that surprise you. I remember 9/11. I remember when Princess Diana died, like things like that, where you know exactly where you were on those at that time when you heard the news. Mm.
And what happened after those big moments in your life? I mean, did you change the path of your career? Did you decide that something drastic needs to be done?
Um, no, well, I guess the moments of moving, it's those things had already happened, so it was like big changes, like the decision was already made. Um, but otherwise, I don't know. I'm pretty stubborn. Like I can have a big thing happen to me, and I still try and continue with my way of
I
thinking.
see. So you just keep going with the path no matter what.
And then I usually, yeah. And then after a while, some things I'll be like, okay, maybe it's time to look at the signs and change a little.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Kiera, so you worked with a lot of legendary people, and you wore many different hats as well, and you still do, as
Yeah.
an actress, as a model, as a spokesperson. So I know that one of the people that you worked with was Peter Lindbergh, which is a legendary fashion photographer. How did that come about, and how was that
Well,
experience?
that was actually probably a moment that really changed a lot for me because I just moved to New York and I was with my agent and she said we're going to go meet this photographer who's, one of the best in the business. And he was shooting Armani Exchange. And so while he was shooting, I went with my agents and had my book and I showed it. And he just went, oh, well, show up tomorrow. You're in the campaign.
Oh my.
And so that was like a really crazy moment. And it really changed a lot too, because I was starting out and you're doing things and you don't know, nothing great had really happened yet.
Mhm.
And suddenly, yeah, he was just like, well, show up tomorrow. You're in the Armani exchange campaign. So I did that. And that was the first time I remember then I had like my face on taxis in New
Mhm.
York and stuff like
Mhm.
this. So it was really cool. And it was a big thing. And then not long after I did the Pirelli calendar with him, which is the picture you're showing now.
Right.
And that was actually, I went to LA to do that photo shoot. And I'd never been to Los Angeles, so I got to fly to LA. And the photos took place at the Paramount Studios. So I got to see, like, be in the film studios and all this. And it was just really cool. So those were amazing moments.
So for those of you that just joining us, we're talking about legendary photographer Peter Lindbergh that Kiera had a chance to work with.
Mm-hmm.
And wasn't there some crazy story about a very expensive dress that you had to wear?
Yeah, that's another time. That was just recently, actually. It was last September.
Yeah.
I wore a dress that's worth 50 million pounds.
What? How
So
is it even
I've gone
possible?
up in
A
the
dress?
world.
What? That's. I mean, is it super heavy?
Yeah,
Is
it
it?
wasn't too heavy considering, but it was full of diamonds and it's a gorgeous piece. But what's really incredible about this dress is I wore it during a fashion show, and the designer of this dress, I'd worn one of his dresses for a
Mhm.
photo shoot, and just this red dress that's really nice. And then the stylist told me, yeah, the designer is 13 years old. And I thought, she probably meant 30, like she got
Of course,
confused or something.
13.
And then, and then it was like, no, the guy's really 13. And so then when he turned 14, he decided to make a dress that he was doing his first fashion show on his own. And so he asked me if I would walk in his show. And I'm like, of course, like I can't, but he's the youngest fashion designer. His name is Josh, designed by Josh. And he was the first designer at 14 to have his own show. So I was excited about doing that. But then it turns out that he created a dress that's worth 50 million pounds. So I, did it for the fun of it, and then ended up doing something like it's probably for the Guinness Book of Records. So
It probably is. I mean,
yeah, so
I
like
have
it's
never
just
heard of
funny how
a
things
fifty
has pan
million
out.
dollar
And
dress.
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And the
Wow.
dress is gorgeous, and yeah, I mean, I was hoping that a few diamonds would fall off and I'd take them home, but that there was too many bodyguards around. They would have picked them up. It wasn't going to happen.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, Kiera, you've been ambassador for a lot of charities, a lot of foundations. I know that you are involved in a lot of fascinating projects.
Yeah.
And one of the projects that you have mentioned a lot, especially lately, is your work in Sierra Leone, where you're working with a desert flower, I guess, desert.
Yeah.
Desert. It's
Not the
not
dessert
dessert.
flower,
It's
the
not a
desert flower.
dessert. It's Desert Flower Foundation, and
Yeah.
you just recently became a president.
Yeah, so I've signed on. I'm the president of the Desert Flower Foundation in France. And uh, uh, I was just in Sierra Leone in January 8th, and we opened the Kiera Chaplin Desert Flower Foundation School. And so it has 400 kids. It's really great because in Sierra Leone, 70% of the people cannot read or write. So to be able to put a school there in an area where there is no schools is really great because the kids can learn how, to read, just basic skills to be able to get jobs and stuff. And also the desert flower, the main cause of the desert flower is fighting against female genital mutilation. And we found out, which unfortunately happens way more than we think, and we found out that the best way to fight that is to, through education. So we're giving them tools for a better future, and we're also giving them tools to educate themselves and get rid of horrible practices, which they are doing.
I mean, it's mind-boggling to even imagine that things like this could still be
Oh
happening
yeah.
in the world,
Yeah,
right?
no, it happens, and it happens closer to home. It's a subject. It's kind of like something that no one wants to talk about because it's kind of, it's like it's a
It's
strange
well, it's
topic. It's a strange
uncomfortable.
topic,
It's very
and
uncomfortable.
even me at first, I was like, it's weird for me to be part of this foundation that does, female genital. How is that? To do anything with me, but it's just something that it is something that needs to stop, and it needs a voice. So why not? And at the same time, I really had the best experience being in Sierra Leone with all those kids and opening the school. I think it's probably one of my most memorable moments for sure.
Well, the picture that you're probably seeing right now
Yeah.
in the background, can you describe that moment? Can you describe what is exactly happening? I mean, obviously the picture says that it's during the school.
Yeah, we were just like just standing there with all the kids, and they all just want to jump on you and hug you, and yeah, they're just super excited, and you're getting all the love, and it's really sweet, and they're just adorable.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can
When
see I'm
when
smiling quite I have a
Yeah.
huge smile on my
But
face there.
what is happening there now? Are you in touch with them on regular basis? How are they
Yeah, I
doing
get
during this
updates all
time?
the time.
Mm-hmm.
I have a man on the ground. His name is Father Peter Conte, and he's always sending videos and updates. And we're also always sending school supplies because they don't have a lot of, they don't have school books and pens and all this. So, and recently we even sent, we received a donation of a lot of sandals for them, so they
Oh,
don't need to
beautiful.
go to school barefoot.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Congratulations. And I guess
Yeah,
we
it's
all
nice
should.
to be able to do something, it's like at the end of the day, it doesn't seem like much to be doing this, but for them it's life changing.
Well,
It's
it
great, and I
is
think
actually,
everyone should
it
try
is
and
a
do
lot.
something like this, because right now it makes you feel so good that it's like it gives you even selfish reasons to want to do it, because it's a
Absolutely.
beautiful feeling.
Well, it's gratifying also.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
even from this picture, you can see the amount of appreciation and excitement that the kids are feeling towards you. I mean, it must be absolutely incredible.
Hmm.
So, Kiera, a few more questions that I
Yeah.
think our viewers would be very pleased to know about. You have a clothing line coming out. Is it something
I
new? That
have a pashmina line, yes.
Pashmina line, beautiful.
Yes,
Yeah.
with this brand called Jan V, and so it's Kiera with Jan V, and it's based on Art Deco, Old Hollywood. So each pashmina, it's different designs, and they
Mm-hmm.
all have names. There's like the Rita Hayworth, the Lauren Bacall, the
Mm-hmm.
Marilyn Monroe,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. So the Betty Davis and all this stuff. So they're really glamorous and fun and gorgeous, and they're coming out. They'll be in stores starting August.
Uh-huh.
So
Great.
it's fun. That's the fun creative side of my work, I find.
Are you personally involved in every design?
Yeah, yeah. No, I get, yeah. I work with the designers to get to to find the design that suits the name and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And I wanted to bring back also that old Hollywood feel, and where you have your glamorous shawls, and
Of
so we have
course.
some ostrich feathers and like glitter and sparkles, and yeah,
Well,
a little over the top, just the way I like it.
nothing wrong with over the top,
Yeah.
especially in this day and age.
Hmm.
So now, Kiera, of course, you and I met because we have something in common, and that is your grandfather.
Yeah.
I, of course, discovered a lot of music that he has written where you were already in the midst of presenting one of the biggest projects that you've been working on, which is the Chaplin Awards that you present now around the world.
Yeah.
Where is this project now? What is the future? What are your plans with this?
Okay, so yeah, the Chaplin Awards. Chaplin Awards, there's one that's been going on in New York for 46 years.
Right.
This
Lincoln
year,
Center.
yeah, it's at the Lincoln Center. The very first one was actually given to my grandfather, and then it's been going on for years. Tom Hanks has received it, Meryl Streep, Morgan Freeman, Robert De Niro. This year it was supposed to be Spike Lee, but with everything going on, it's been postponed. But it's such a great evening where we honor actors and directors who have a long career, have had a long career and contribution to the film industry.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I saw that, I was like, it's a shame to just be celebrating American actors when there's so much great talent around the world. Like Asia has a huge film industry. We don't see it because we don't speak the language. Russia does as well. Bollywood, all these places that that has so much talent. So I started the Chaplin Awards Asia. This year will be the third year. It's going to be in November, God willing, if everything clears up. And then we launched the first one in March. It was on March 11th in Moscow. We gave it to Evgeny Mironov. And it's been really well received. And I think it keeps the whole concept of, no borders and, citizens of the world, which is very much a philosophy of my grandfather.
Absolutely. And speaking of your grandfather, he was known for so many incredible quotes. So I wanted to ask you, you know, we're going to probably end the program now. Is there a quote of his or something of his that you could share with us?
There's so many quotes of his that I love, and I was thinking of a few, but I think right now, with everything that's going on, the quotes I'm going to choose is, "A day without laughter is a day wasted." So even in these crazy times, let's not forget to laugh and be kind and smile.
Smile if your heart is aching.
Yes, exactly. Smile even though it's breaking.
That's right.
No, it's important to always stay positive and spread love.
So before we say goodbye, what's for dinner?
I don't know. You know, I started cooking, which I never do.
Maybe
And that
another
is the eternal
venture.
question: is what's
Maybe
for
another
dinner? My
venture,
God.
Kiera, to add to everything that you're doing. Another venture of
Yeah.
becoming a chef and opening a
Oh
restaurant
God,
one
yeah,
day.
no, yeah. It's still a long way to go, but yeah, no, trying new things, trying new things.
Okay. Okay. Well, best of luck with absolutely everything. Thank you so much for being.
Thank you. All
Thank you
right.
so much for being with us, and I hope to see you soon in person.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Very soon, hopefully.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in,
Yes.
and please stay with the Check the Gate community because there will be many, many more fantastic programs.